Alright folks, Vitek here from Wani, and with us today we have one and only Sharlee D'Angelo of Arch Enemy. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am doing good. You guys must be super pumped that it's been a long time since the last one came out. As the States Burn, scheduled to release later this month.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's good. I mean, we haven't done a DVD since, when was it?
2008.
Yes, so yeah, 9 years. So it's about time, really.
Right, that's cool, and obviously a special show at Wacken, and I'm sure
Mm.
what was this sort of idea to select this specific festival to record the DVD? I mean, you guys played almost every festival, that specific year. So was it sort of a preconceived thought that okay, let's go ahead with Wacken, let's record the DVD?
I think the Wacken thing came first. Once we got confirmed for playing this year, and we got a better slot. At night, so after dark, which means that you can do more things visually, of course. And so we thought, and it's been 2 years since we played there last time, so we'll do something different, just so it's not the same. And once we thought, okay, well, let's put some, time and money and effort into a slightly bigger production, and that sort of like almost spiraled out of control because it turned into like the biggest production that we ever had, actually. And once we've done that, we thought sort of record this for posterity then, because it's going to be a cool night, and also just because it is Wacken, and like these days, like doing a Wacken DVD is almost like doing a live album at Budokan, like in the 70s and 80s. You know what I mean? It's as an extreme metal band, you have to have a Wacken DVD. But it's also one of the coolest places in the world, like a little town that just pops up once a year for everybody who likes metal. It's the metal mecca. If you haven't been, you have to go at least like once in your life. And everybody who's been there, they sort of like vow to come back. And, it's one of them things.
Absolutely, man. I mean, the DVD is energetic, it's relentless. Even though I was not there at the Wacken when it was shot, but I got a chance to watch the entire DVD. Obviously, I had the stream, so you guys have come a long way since your conception 20 years ago, like I said, and this performance at probably the world's biggest or largest heavy metal festival just shows how good you guys have become over the period of time.
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to think that we get better at what we do in every sense of the way, and we have come a long way if you think about like what we did 20 years ago.
True.
And it's developed over the years. A few people have changed in the band and all that, and I think where we're at now. I mean, we're a strong, solid machine at this point. Especially after doing so many shows on the War Eternal run, it was it's one of them things, and it's also I think it's. And this is also one of the reasons why we wanted to do the DVD, because we have yet not done anything like this, like with Alissa and Jeff.
Right.
So I think it's for those, we have toured a lot, but we haven't been everywhere, unfortunately. So for those of us who haven't, for those of you out there who haven't seen us, then this is a great opportunity to see us at our best, and also a little bit like, so yeah, if you hesitated before like to go to an Arch Enemy show, well, this is how good we are. Look at us.
Right. Good to hear that, man. I mean, I love the way how the camera work is handled on the DVD. I mean, it's one of the most important aspect of a DVD in general is the camera work. Now, the way this has been handled with, I guess, 13 different cameras have been used, and it covers the shots of the band, lined up with the music pretty much well. And I kind of felt that this idea was to capture the band in its organic, raw form, with the band members going berserk, the insane crowd shots, often here and there. It's a good balance between the stage and the aggression on field.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that is the whole idea, because you want to I mean, of course, the band is sort of in focus. I mean, that's the main focus, but as on any DVD, but I mean, I want to have as much, as many crowd shots as possible without missing anything that's going on stage, because you want to see you want to take that whole experience in, and it's hard. You can't really record it, unless you have some like super duper new technology, 360 something. But but I mean that still won't do it. You know what I mean? So the only way to really experience it is to be there, but then you want to sort of make it the next best thing. So that's sort of what we tried to go for, and we had Patrick Elias on board to to produce and direct this one. So I think he as always did a really good job.
And I love his music videos he does for Evergrey. Fantastic! Like it's the way he captures the essence of the band, and also the musical, the sort of a background. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, he knows his stuff. Like he's one of those people that you don't have to really like tell him how you want it, because you can come with a suggestion. He's like, yeah, I know. That's exactly what we're doing. I'm like, okay, cool. Go right ahead then. He comes from sort of the same background, have a lot of the same influences, and when it comes to sort of a visual presentation of something, I mean, he is the guy for it, I think. I mean, that's what we like to work with him, and so it was kind of that whole deal was kind of effortless on our part. More work for him, of course, but he always does it with a smile as well.
Yep, that's pretty much really great to hear that, and the stage decoration. Somewhere at the beginning of the DVD, I think first two songs ahead, I see this long white drapes with Arch Enemy on them, and there's a pentagram symbol behind Daniel's drum kit, and that's the part of the lightning, the setup, and as soon as you guys start playing Ravenous, it kind of reveals a lot more, as he kind of makes me feel like a satanic church with skulls everywhere, and as well as the picture. So the stage essence is very important, and like you said, it's nighttime, and the light just pierces through it, makes it look even on a grand scale. Probably this is the pinnacle of Arch Enemy live when it comes to production.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is and we work with it's been a lot of people involved with this, and it's a company in Germany called All You Band Needs that we work with, because like us, the band, our management, like our crew as well, like everybody, like to get this thing like working, because there's one thing having an idea, and there's another thing realizing it as well, and so so that's why the preparation took quite a long time from like the first like thought till it was actually up there on stage. I mean, it was about like 6 months, and it took the better part of like 10-12 weeks to build the whole thing as well. Yeah, and then after that, it's like it takes 2 trucks to ship it up, and it takes another 18 apart from our regular crew, another 18 people to build it up, and you don't really do it in a changeover. So it's a very sort of, the technical aspect of it is a bit complicated, but it's worth it in the end, I think. And as you mentioned, all the white drapes and all that, because we try to sort of like it's like the whole thing is like a 3-stage rocket, because at first you just have like the white stage, and then then that drops and then reveals something else, and then within what you see there, things also change another couple of times, just so you wanna just so you don't look at the same thing the whole time, because then it doesn't matter like how fantastic something is, because once you've seen it, once you stand there looking at something for like an hour and a half, then you have seen it, you saw it the first minute, so you want to sort of make it develop and evolve a little bit.
That's right. It's really good to hear that. And I in fact spoke to Jeff a couple of months ago. He was here in India for a guitar clinic.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he played some of his classic Nevermore stuff, and also his solo and stuff. And we discussed about the upcoming record, which I believe is slated to release sometime in September.
That's right.
How's the progress so far?
Very, very good. We've done a lot of the basic tracking, and we started with vocals a bit, and start with leads pretty soon this month as well, and so it's going. So most of the basic tracking is down, and then so we start to add on other things, and then go back and redo and fix, and so hopefully everything will be done before we leave for tour the end of this month, so we can just set it away for mixing and all that, and forget about it for a while.
But that's the most the most boring part, because once you're done with the record and then it goes to the mixing stage, and then the record label has to put it on a hold for a couple of weeks, and then you have the September schedule, and that whole period of waiting, how fans are gonna receive it is very annoying.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So once you have something down, you wanna put it out immediately and let people hear it. But no, I mean it's that, because like once you've done that, once the actual album, this is it is now mixed, and now everything's it's just that. But it's so many other things that needs to be done. Within those like following month, there's so much, like, because it's everything else. It's artwork, it's it's videos, it's everything, all visual aspects of it, and then it's all the promotion for it, and what have you. There's so much that needs to happen there. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, you still wonder what people are gonna think about it, and you get like the first few sort of like glimpses of that you get once you start doing promotion, doing interviews for it. At least you get like like people like you, who then can you get some sort of response, at least if somebody first few people who have actually listened to it, like outside of the band. That's so right. Yeah, so it's always it's a bit nerve-wracking, and but very exciting actually to see and it doesn't really matter, because as long as you're happy with it yourself, that's all you can do. You cannot like steer other people's thoughts and tastes, and so as long as you're happy with the album, and then of course you want people out there, like the nice people who go and who listen to music and come to your shows, and sometimes still buy your records. You want to sort of like see, that's the thing, that's the the ultimate payoff is when you stand there on stage and you play a new song and you see people like really sort of, okay, they're already singing along to it, they seem to like it, and they go nuts to this riff here, and like, and that's your sort of like, yes, we did it again, like ding, this is our diploma right here.
That's good to hear. I mean, with War Eternal, obviously with Alissa coming on board, there's a lot of pressure about because changing a vocalist is a big thing, and she nailed it. People loved it, press loved it, everybody loved it, and this kind of gives you more room to explore, on this upcoming record. So have you guys kind of, pushed your boundaries even further on this record?
It's hard to say further. Well, I think push them to the left and to the right, and slightly diagonally backwards. I think because on War Eternal, I would say, I mean, there was certain desperation about that album. That I still can feel when I listen to it. Maybe just because I was involved in it, but having that, like, lost, a long time and a very important member of the band, and then introducing someone else, a new face into the band, and you wonder, that's even more like than just, okay, we have a new album, wonder what people like about it, and if they will like it at all. And so that's, it's few nerves there. And I think when we, in the process of recording that album, like writing and recording, I think it was like so much going into, like, just like, I don't know, almost like yeah, but it is that, you know, there's something desperate and very dense about that album. Whereas like now, as you said, we know we did it. You know,
Right.
people have we're still here. People have accepted the change, and you know they've embraced Alissa, and you know, and everything as well. You know, the things are even like better than they were before. So. So now, you know, you have a completely different sort of like vantage point and or starting point for that matter. And I think, you know, so now this album is a bit more open in that sense. It sounds more open, and some of the songs I would say, you know, dare I use the word epic, but yeah, so it's like so there's it's different. Yes, we can do a lot more now than we could. We don't just have to cram as much metal as possible in the most sort of like energetic way. We can do it in other ways as well. I mean, as I'm so like, you know, don't be scared. I'm not saying that, you know, everything will be slow and just like, you know, that's not what's happening. And it's extremely Arch Enemy, but you know, within what is Arch Enemy, we have you know, we have gone out to explore like new worlds a little bit. So there would be, you know, it would be some of the same and also some new stuff. So yeah. So yeah.
Cool. And is Jeff part of the record? Because he's just said that, you know, I have some samples I've done. I've sent it to Michael, and I don't know what's going to happen. But the way he wrote the solo for Stolen Light, I mean, I remember seeing that video out, and I observed Jeff puts his touch, you know, in that magical sense, as where, you know, I've seen him throughout his career. So how deep is he involved with the record?
I mean, any record that Jeff plays on, I mean, he is deeply involved with, because he puts his mark on it, like, and it's so strong, like his playing style alone, you know, as you said with Stolen Life, there, it's you know, whatever he does, because it sounds so Loomis that, you know, so yeah, you know, yeah. You know, it's going to reek of Loomis, this album. It will. It definitely will.
Good, man. That's really cool to hear. So we look forward to the record coming out in September. But the NIGHT FLIGHT Orchestra is also coming out. And you have, I don't know, how are you able to manage? I mean, you got, you know, you had there's another band you're part of. I'm not able to remember, you and Michael. Spiritual Beggars, are you part of that band as well?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
That's right. So you had that album come out, you guys toured with that, and now obviously with Arch Enemy and NIGHT FLIGHT Orchestra as well, with Amber Galactic coming out in May. So
yes.
You know, that's another record which I'm sure fans are looking forward to. Must be a different experience than writing an extreme metal record and coming back and writing more of a prog rock sort of a classic record.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, and I think that's good. You sort of it sort of work for me as a palate cleanser, you know, like a musical palate cleanser that could just come in and you can, you know, some ideas, some weird ideas that you have, you know, you get an outlet for that, and you can sort of, you come back one experience richer, you know, to like the next Arch Enemy album, you know, and you get some ideas from things that you can do that you can apply to Arch Enemy as well. Because everything that you do, you learn something from, and but yeah, no, it's a good thing. Like both Spiritual Beggars and NIGHT FLIGHT Orchestra are like great sort of like outlets on the side for me.
True.
Just you can you know, you explore your musical self like in other ways, and you find new things that, you know, you can use for everything, and yeah, and it's like because there, you know, there's stuff like in there all the time, and like it's good to get something out, you know, once in a while, and so that's coming out in May.
Awesome, man. So you got 2 records coming out, you got 1 more DVD coming out, so busy year ahead. And Sharlee, so, you know, if I had to sum up the, you know, the interview, if you had to kind of sum up in a statement, where you have to discuss, or let's say describe the sound of the next record in a sentence, what would you say? Let's say one for Night Flight Orchestra and for the upcoming Arch Enemy.
Oh, God, I don't know. Well, you know, for the Arch Enemy one, I mean, it is what it's always been. It's pure fucking metal.
Perfect.
You know, that one. And Night Flight, I don't know. It'll be I think, like, you know, a floating champagne bar in space, I think, is the one for Night Flight Orchestra.
Cool.